President Trump signed an executive order today establishing a task force for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But the executive order on everyone's radar, the one that aims to dismantle the Department of Education, has yet to receive the president's signature. It's still being worked on. Let's bring in our political panel to discuss. Maura Gillespie served as an advisor to former House Speaker John Boehner and former Congressman Adam Kinzinger, both Republicans, while Hyma was the director for the Office of the Democratic National Committee Chair. Welcome to both of you. Great to see you. Let's start out, Maura, by talking about that executive order on the Department of Education, essentially aiming to dismantle it. I would imagine that there are Democratic and Republican lawmakers alike getting an earful from governors around the country, school boards around the country who are wondering what's going to happen to all the federal funding that passes through the Department of Education to schools in low-income areas, to schools to help them educate children with disabilities, student loans, and all the rest.
Certainly. And, the question remains, when this happens, what will happen to special education programs? And I think that is a large concern for many people. When the president talks about taking education and bringing it back to the states, well, education largely is in the hands of the states. That's why I'm sitting here right now in New Jersey. New Jersey is, known for being one of the best states for education. And so that it already is a state-based issue. So I think there are still some concerns that need to be ironed out. And that's probably why he hasn't signed that executive order, because a plan needs to be put in place. What happens to those programs? It's like special education. What happens to some of those grants? And I think that that's not being, at least, communicated to us as to what that plan is. And if it hasn't been sorted out yet, it certainly needs to before he signs anything that would dismantle an entire department. Yeah,
there's this misperception out there that the Department of Education meddles in state and local decisions about education, but actually they're prevented from doing so by law. So, Hyma, why aren't Democrats out there shouting from the rooftops about this? I mean, education is one of the most popular things there is.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, Nancy, the Democrats were at the Department of Education just a few weeks ago in their first protest. But that's not the thing that Democrats need to do. I think Democrats have to do what they're doing right now. They have to figure out a plan that's going to systematically address what Donald Trump's trying to do across government, not just education. But look, this is about competitiveness. I've talked to teachers and principals, even business owners across the country, and they're concerned that we're not going to be as competitive against China and other folk around the world. And so this is not just about taking an department down and restructuring government. This is about making sure that we're preparing our kids to compete on the global stage for generations.
Maura, I want to turn to tariffs because President Trump was back at it in the Oval Office today with some new policies that he says he's going to be implementing when it comes to tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
There could be some disturbance, a little bit of a disturbance. I solved a little bit of that because I have respect for our auto companies, and I gave them a little bit of a 1-month reprieve because it was unfair.
Disturbance is the euphemism for stock market declining and prices potentially going up, at least in the short term. What do you make of the gyrations on tariffs this week?
So businesses have to plan. They have to figure out how to mitigate risks. And the unfortunate downside of this kind of back and forth on whether you're going to impose tariffs or not, businesses just need to have an answer so they can plan for it. And without having that definitive answer, they are likely going to have to raise prices in order to account for what those tariffs may end up being once they are put into action. So I think that Americans should really focus on that and prepare themselves for prices to go up on a whole host of things. But secondly, I worry as a Republican about the midterms, and language like that and language from the president's speech on Tuesday, saying it'll just be a little disturbance, a little painful. That's right for ads that Democrats will be using should things go south and people being in more pain and more hurt financially than they already have been before. And I think that's where Trump is likely to lose some of his most loyal supporters of when they can't afford their groceries, continue to make it worse.
Hyma, in the time we have left, I want to get your take on the former standard bearer of your party, Kamala Harris, now seriously considering a run for governor in the state of California.
Yeah, look, I think Vice President Harris has the right to make that decision on her own accord. I'm a huge fan of Vice President Harris, and I think she has a lot left to give to this country. And she loves public service. She's done it her entire career. But look, I think people are getting ahead of themselves. She says she's going to take some time to think about it. There are other Democrats in California that are also considering the race as well. And so I think it's too early to say, but she has that right. And if she does it, look, I'm going to say go do it.
It'll be fascinating to watch. Hyma, Maura Gillespie, thank you both so much and have a great weekend.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.